Welcome back to another episode of our podcast. Today's topic is something everyone can benefit from: self-reflection. We'll be discussing why it's important to take time to reflect on our actions, thoughts, and experiences. Listening to podcasts like ours is a great way to improve your English skills. By engaging in conversations, you not only improve your listening, but also your communication skills, and you get to learn new information on important topics like this one.
That's right. Self-reflection can help us grow personally and professionally, and it's a skill that can be applied in all areas of life. Plus, while we're talking about self-reflection, you'll be practicing your English. It's like hitting two birds with one stone, improving language skills and learning about life at the same time.
Self-reflection is basically taking time to think deeply about your thoughts, feelings, and actions. It's when you pause and ask yourself questions like, why did I react that way? Or how could I have handled that situation better?
Exactly. It's a way to learn more about yourself. Often, we go through our daily routines without stopping to think about why we do the things we do. Self-reflection gives us the chance to hit pause and evaluate our behavior.
It's something that can be done daily, weekly, or whenever you feel the need. The important thing is to make it a habit because it helps you understand your strengths, weaknesses, and areas where you can improve.
And it's not just about looking at your mistakes. Self-reflection also allows you to celebrate your achievements and progress. It gives you perspective and can boost your confidence.
Self-reflection is crucial for personal growth. Without it, we might repeat the same mistakes over and over again because we're not aware of what went wrong. Reflection helps us learn from our experiences. Yes, it helps us to develop emotional intelligence too. When you reflect on your reactions or emotions, you become more aware of how you handle different situations, which makes you better at managing stress or conflict. And self-reflection isn't just for personal growth. It's useful in the workplace as well. Employees who take time to reflect on their performance often find ways to improve and can set clearer career goals.
That's right. By reflecting, you can understand your motivations and align them with your actions, whether it's in your career, relationships, or personal life.
Starting self-reflection is as simple as asking yourself a few questions. You can keep a journal where you write down what went well today, what could have gone better, and what you've learned.
Journaling is a great tool for self-reflection. It forces you to put your thoughts into words, making them clearer and easier to understand.
Another way is through meditation. Some people find that taking a few minutes to clear their mind helps them reflect on their day without any distractions.
Even talking to someone can help. Sometimes discussing your thoughts and experiences with a friend or mentor can lead to important insights you might not have noticed on your own.
In a professional setting, self-reflection can lead to better decision-making. By looking back at your past work, you can understand what strategies worked and what didn't, and adjust accordingly.
It also helps in setting realistic goals. Reflecting on your current position and skill set gives you a clearer picture of where you need to go and what steps you need to take to get there.
And let's not forget, reflection improves leadership. Great leaders often take time to reflect on their actions, how they impact their teams, and how they can improve.
That's why many successful professionals, from CEOs to educators, practice self-reflection. It's a tool that keeps them grounded and always moving forward.
Self-reflection also plays a big role in personal relationships. By reflecting on how we communicate or react in certain situations, we can improve how we interact with others.
Right. Sometimes we don't realize how our words or actions affect people. Reflecting on past interactions can help us become more empathetic and considerate.
It also helps in conflict resolution. Instead of reacting impulsively, reflecting on what was said or done helps you approach situations with a clearer mind.
And that can lead to stronger, healthier relationships. By understanding yourself better, you can communicate more effectively with the people around you.
One common obstacle is time. We all have busy schedules, and finding the time to sit down and reflect can be challenging.
Yes, but even just 10 minutes a day can make a difference. It doesn't have to be a long, complicated process. Small moments of reflection can still lead to big insights.
Another obstacle is being too hard on yourself. Self-reflection is about growth, not punishment. It's important to approach it with a positive mindset and see it as a tool for improvement.
Exactly. No one is perfect, and self-reflection helps us recognize that. It's not about being critical, it's about being honest with yourself and finding ways to improve.
Regular self-reflection can lead to increased self-awareness. When you understand your habits, emotions, and actions, you can better control them.
And that can lead to better decision-making. Reflecting on past choices helps you avoid making the same mistakes in the future.
It also boosts confidence. When you take time to reflect on your achievements, you realize how far you've come, and that motivates you to keep going.
And let's not forget mental clarity. Self-reflection helps you clear your mind and focus on what truly matters, which reduces stress and anxiety.
Self-reflection is also a powerful tool when it comes to setting and achieving goals. By looking back on your past efforts, you can see what worked and what didn't, helping you set more realistic and achievable goals for the future.
Exactly. When you reflect on the steps you've taken, you get a clearer understanding of your strengths and weaknesses. This allows you to focus on improving specific areas rather than just going with a general goal.
It's also about aligning your goals with your values. Self-reflection helps you evaluate if the goals you're working toward are really what you want, or if they're based on external pressures.
And when you know what you truly want, it's easier to stay motivated and focused. Self-reflection makes your path clearer, allowing you to adjust your goals as needed and stay on track.
When we take time to reflect, it helps us make more informed decisions. By thinking about previous decisions and their outcomes, you gain insight into what choices led to success and which didn't.
Right, and that makes future decisions easier. You're not just relying on impulse or guesswork, you're building on past experiences. That can be really helpful when you're facing tough choices.
It also helps you avoid regret. When you reflect before making a decision, you consider all aspects of it, which means you're more likely to feel confident about your choice afterward.
Yes, self-reflection allows you to weigh the pros and cons more carefully. And when you take that time, it often leads to better results in both personal and professional situations.
We all face challenges, and sometimes they can seem overwhelming. But self-reflection helps you break those challenges down into manageable parts. By reflecting on what's causing the problem, you can find a solution more easily.
Exactly. Reflection allows you to see things from different perspectives. Maybe there's something you overlooked or a new approach you haven't considered yet. Taking time to reflect can uncover those hidden solutions.
And it's not just about problem solving. Reflecting on how you've handled past challenges can give you confidence. You've overcome difficulties before, and you can do it again.
That's a great point. Self-reflection reminds you of your resilience. It gives you the mental strength to keep pushing forward, even when things get tough.
Self-reflection also plays a huge role in developing emotional intelligence. By reflecting on your emotions and how you respond to different situations, you can better understand yourself and others.
Yes, and emotional intelligence is so important in all areas of life, whether it's work, relationships, or even personal growth. When you're more aware of your emotions, you can handle them better.
Exactly. It helps with communication too. When you reflect on your emotions, you can express yourself more clearly and avoid misunderstandings.
And it helps you empathize with others. Self-reflection teaches you to think about how your actions affect the people around you, which can lead to stronger, more positive relationships.
Stress is something we all deal with, but self-reflection can help us manage it better. By reflecting on the causes of your stress, you can identify patterns and take steps to reduce it.
Yes, and sometimes just understanding where the stress is coming from can make a big difference. When you reflect, you might realize that something you thought was stressful isn't actually as bad as it seemed.
It also helps with prioritizing. When you reflect on your day or week, you can decide what's truly important and what can be set aside, which reduces that overwhelming feeling.
And don't forget that self-reflection helps with mindfulness. By taking a few moments to pause and reflect, you can bring yourself into the present moment, which is key to reducing stress and anxiety.
Self-reflection is an important part of the learning process. When you reflect on what you've learned, you're able to understand the material better and retain it for longer.
That's true. It's one thing to learn something, but reflecting on it helps you apply that knowledge in real life. It bridges the gap between theory and practice.
Reflection also helps you recognize your learning style. You might notice that you understand certain subjects better when you approach them in a specific way, which can help you become a more effective learner.
Exactly, and it encourages continuous improvement. When you reflect on what you've learned, you can see where you need more practice or where you've already mastered a skill.
Self-reflection is incredibly helpful when it comes to resolving conflicts. By taking time to reflect on a situation, you can see things from both sides and approach the problem more calmly.
Yes, it helps you understand your own emotions as well as the emotions of others involved. Reflecting before reacting can prevent misunderstandings and lead to a more productive conversation.
And sometimes, when you reflect, you might realize that the conflict isn't as serious as it seemed in the heat of the moment. Taking that step back gives you a clearer perspective.
It also helps you find common ground. When you reflect, you can identify what both sides want and figure out a way to compromise, which leads to a more peaceful resolution.
Self-awareness is one of the greatest benefits of self-reflection. By looking inward and analyzing your thoughts, feelings, and actions, you gain a deeper understanding of yourself.
Yes, and with self-awareness comes better decision-making and stronger relationships. When you know yourself, you're able to handle situations with more clarity and confidence.
It's also about understanding your triggers. By reflecting on your reactions, you can identify what causes certain emotional responses and work on controlling them better in the future.
And that leads to personal growth. Self-awareness opens the door to becoming the best version of yourself because you know exactly what you need to work on and where your strengths lie.
Self-reflection is essential for personal growth. When you take time to look at your past actions and thoughts, you can see how far you've come and identify areas where you can improve.
Exactly. Personal growth is a continuous process, and self-reflection helps you track your progress. It gives you insight into what changes have made a positive impact and what adjustments you still need to make.
And it's not just about identifying mistakes. It's also about celebrating your successes. Reflecting on what you've done well boosts your confidence and encourages you to keep moving forward. That's so important. Personal growth is about learning from both the good and the bad. When you reflect, you recognize your strengths, which helps you build on them in the future. Achieving a good work-life balance can be tough, but self-reflection can help. By reflecting on how you spend your time, you can figure out if you're prioritizing work too much or not giving yourself enough time to relax.
Yes, self-reflection makes it easier to identify when things are getting out of balance. Maybe you've been feeling stressed or overwhelmed, and reflecting can help you see where adjustments are needed.
It also helps you understand what activities recharge you and what drains your energy. When you reflect on your routine, you can make better decisions about how to spend your time.
That's right. Whether it's focusing more on self-care or reevaluating your work habits, self-reflection gives you the clarity to make those important changes for a better balance.
Time management is another area where self-reflection can make a big difference. Reflecting on how you spend your time can help you see where you're being productive and where you might be wasting time.
Yes, and it's not just about being more productive. It's about making sure that your time is spent on the things that matter most to you, whether that's work, family, or personal projects.
When you reflect on how you use your time, you can set clearer priorities. It helps you see which tasks are truly important and which ones can wait or even be eliminated.
And self-reflection also teaches you to be more mindful of your time. Once you know how you're spending your hours, you can make intentional decisions that align with your goals and values.
Self-reflection isn't just about personal growth, it also helps in relationships. By reflecting on your interactions with others, you can become a better communicator and a more supportive friend, partner, or colleague.
Yes, it helps you understand how your behavior impacts others. When you reflect on past conversations or conflicts, you can see where you might have gone wrong and how to approach things differently next time.
It's also a great tool for building empathy. Reflecting on your own feelings helps you relate to how others might be feeling, which can lead to deeper, more meaningful connections.
Exactly. Self-reflection makes you more self-aware in relationships, helping you to be more patient, understanding, and thoughtful in your interactions with others.
Setting boundaries is important, but it can be difficult. Self-reflection can help you figure out where you need to set boundaries in your life, whether it's at work, in relationships, or with yourself.
That's true. When you reflect on past experiences, you can see when your boundaries were crossed or when you allowed too much flexibility. This insight can help you establish healthier limits moving forward.
And self-reflection also helps you understand why certain boundaries are important to you. Once you know the reasons behind them, it becomes easier to stick to them and communicate them to others.
Yes, boundaries protect your time, energy, and mental health. By reflecting on your needs, you can create boundaries that support your overall well-being, both personally and professionally.
Sometimes we hold ourselves back with limiting beliefs, thoughts like, I can't do this, or I'm not good enough. Self-reflection is a powerful tool to challenge those beliefs and replace them with more positive, empowering ones.
Yes, when you take time to reflect, you can question those limiting beliefs. Are they really true, or are they just stories you've been telling yourself based on past experiences or fears?
Exactly. Reflection helps you see the evidence of your capabilities. You've likely overcome challenges in the past, and reflecting on those moments can remind you that you're capable of more than you think.
And once you recognize those limiting beliefs, you can take steps to shift your mindset. Self-reflection is the first step in breaking free from those patterns and opening up new possibilities for growth.
Creativity thrives when we take time to reflect. Self-reflection allows us to look back on our creative process, identify what worked, and think about how to improve or explore new ideas.
Yes, and it's not just about looking back. Self-reflection can also inspire new ideas. When you reflect on your past work, it can spark connections or lead to breakthroughs you hadn't considered before.
It also helps you recognize patterns in your creative work. Maybe you notice that you're drawn to certain themes or styles, and reflecting on those preferences can guide you toward more authentic, fulfilling creative projects.
And by reflecting, you can also overcome creative blocks. Sometimes all it takes is stepping back and looking at things from a different angle to reignite your inspiration.
Confidence comes from knowing yourself and trusting in your abilities, and self-reflection is a key part of that. When you reflect on your achievements and strengths, you build a stronger sense of self-worth.
Yes, reflection reminds you of what you're capable of. When you look back on past successes, it reinforces the belief that you can handle whatever challenges come your way.
It also helps you recognize areas where you've grown. Maybe you handled a situation better than you would have a year ago. That's something to be proud of, and reflecting on it builds your confidence.
And the more you practice self-reflection, the more confident you become in making decisions and trusting your instincts. It's a powerful cycle of self-awareness and growth that leads to greater confidence over time.
Self-reflection plays a big role in decision-making. When you take the time to reflect on past decisions, you can learn from them and make more informed choices in the future.
Yes, it's like having a personal guide. Reflecting on what worked and what didn't in the past can help you approach new situations with more clarity and confidence.
It also helps you tune into your values. When you reflect, you can see whether your past decisions aligned with what's most important to you. This insight is crucial for making choices that feel right.
Exactly. Self-reflection allows you to pause, think through your options, and avoid making impulsive decisions. It gives you the space to weigh the pros and cons and choose what's best for you in the long run.
Self-reflection is a great tool for managing stress. When you reflect on what's causing your stress, you can take steps to address it more effectively.
Yes, it's all about understanding your triggers. Reflecting on stressful moments helps you see patterns, whether it's a certain situation, person, or even thought process that consistently leads to stress.
And once you recognize those triggers, you can develop strategies to manage them better. Maybe it's about setting boundaries, practicing mindfulness, or changing your perspective on a situation.
That's a key point. Self-reflection gives you the insights to make changes that reduce stress. It helps you become more proactive in managing stress rather than just reacting to it in the moment.
Emotional intelligence is the ability to understand and manage your emotions, and self-reflection is a powerful way to develop it. Reflecting on your emotions helps you understand why you feel a certain way.
Yes, it's about recognizing patterns in your emotional responses. When you reflect, you can see whether certain situations always make you angry, anxious, or frustrated, and you can work on managing those feelings better.
It also helps with empathy. By reflecting on your own emotions, you can better understand the emotions of others, which improves your relationships and communication skills.
Exactly. Emotional intelligence is all about self-awareness and empathy, and self-reflection is at the heart of both. It helps you respond to your emotions in a healthier, more constructive way.
Self-reflection is essential for career development. When you reflect on your professional experiences, you can identify what skills you need to improve and what goals you want to set for the future.
Yes, and it's not just about skills. Self-reflection helps you evaluate whether your current career path aligns with your passions and long-term goals. It gives you clarity on what direction to take next.
It also helps you track your progress. When you reflect on where you started and where you are now, you can see the growth that has happened over time, which motivates you to keep moving forward.
That's true. Career development is a journey, and self-reflection is like a roadmap. It shows you where you've been, where you are, and where you want to go, helping you make intentional choices along the way.
Resilience is the ability to bounce back from challenges, and self-reflection can help build that resilience. When you reflect on how you've overcome difficulties in the past, you strengthen your ability to face new ones.
Exactly. Reflection helps you see that you've been through tough times before and made it through. That reminder can give you the strength and confidence to tackle new challenges with a resilient mindset. It also helps you learn from setbacks. Instead of viewing a failure as something negative, reflection allows you to see it as a learning opportunity. You can reflect on what went wrong and how you can handle things differently next time.
It also helps you learn from setbacks. Instead of viewing a failure as something negative, reflection allows you to see it as a learning opportunity. You can reflect on what went wrong and how you can handle things differently next time.
Yes, and that shift in perspective is what builds resilience. Self-reflection teaches you to view challenges as part of the growth process, which makes it easier to stay positive and keep going, no matter what life throws at you.
Motivation can sometimes come and go, but self-reflection can help you stay motivated by reminding you of your goals and progress. When you reflect on why you started something, it reignites your drive to keep going.
Yes, self-reflection connects you to your why. When you take the time to think about your purpose or what excites you, it fuels your motivation, especially during moments when you feel stuck or unmotivated.
It also helps you recognize the small wins. Reflecting on the progress you've made, even if it's just small steps, can boost your motivation and remind you that you're moving in the right direction.
Exactly. Self-reflection gives you perspective. It shows you that even if you're not where you want to be yet, you're on your way, and that's often enough to keep the momentum going.
Self-reflection is not something you do once and forget about. It's a lifelong practice that helps you continue growing, learning, and improving throughout your life.
Yes, it's a tool that evolves with you. As you grow, your reflections deepen, and they help you navigate new stages of life, whether it's in your career, relationships, or personal development.
The beauty of self-reflection is that it keeps you connected to yourself. It allows you to constantly check in, understand your needs, and make adjustments as you go.
That's right. Whether you're facing new challenges or celebrating achievements, self-reflection is always there to guide you. It's a practice that never stops offering value, no matter where you are in life.
Self-reflection plays a major role in personal growth. It helps you see where you've been and what you've learned, which in turn guides you toward continuous self-improvement.
Yes, growth isn't just about reaching goals, it's about understanding the journey. Through reflection, you can recognize the lessons you've learned from both successes and setbacks.
Exactly. Reflection helps you spot patterns, both good and bad. It allows you to build on what works and change what doesn't, fostering continuous growth.
And that's what personal growth is about, small changes that add up over time. Self-reflection helps you notice those changes and stay focused on becoming the best version of yourself.
Another powerful aspect of self-reflection is that it can foster gratitude. When you take time to reflect on your life, you often realize how much you have to be thankful for.
Yes, reflecting on positive experiences, relationships, and opportunities can shift your mindset toward gratitude. It helps you focus on the good rather than getting stuck on the challenges.
And gratitude can lead to greater happiness and well-being. When you make it a habit to reflect on what you're thankful for, you start to notice more things to appreciate in everyday life.
That's true. Self-reflection helps you see the big picture, and that perspective makes it easier to stay positive even when things get tough.
Self-reflection is also key when it comes to managing your time better. When you reflect on how you spend your time, you can make adjustments to be more productive and focused.
Yes, reflection helps you identify areas where you might be wasting time or not using it as effectively as you could. It gives you the insight to make changes that lead to better time management.
It also helps with prioritization. When you reflect on your goals and tasks, you can better decide what's most important and allocate your time accordingly.
Exactly. Without reflection, it's easy to fall into habits that don't serve you well. By regularly reflecting on your schedule and priorities, you can stay aligned with your goals and use your time wisely.
Relationships also benefit from self-reflection. By reflecting on how you interact with others, you can improve your communication and strengthen your connections.
Yes, reflection helps you understand how your actions and words impact others. It allows you to see where you might need to improve in your relationships, whether it's being more patient, empathetic, or understanding.
It also gives you the chance to reflect on the health of your relationships. Are they positive and supportive, or are there areas of tension that need addressing?
Exactly. Self-reflection isn't just about your relationship with yourself, it's also about how you relate to others. Taking time to reflect can lead to stronger, more fulfilling relationships.
Mindfulness and self-reflection go hand in hand. When you reflect, you become more aware of your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors, which is a key part of mindfulness.
Yes, mindfulness is about staying present, and reflection helps you understand the present moment more deeply. It allows you to recognize what's going on internally and externally, leading to a more mindful way of living.
And through reflection, you can become more intentional. Rather than reacting on autopilot, you can make conscious decisions about how you want to respond to situations.
Exactly. Self-reflection sharpens your awareness, and that awareness leads to mindfulness. It's a cycle that helps you live more fully in the present with greater clarity and intention.
Self-reflection is a key component of emotional intelligence. By reflecting on your feelings and responses, you can better understand your emotions and manage them more effectively.
That's true. Emotional intelligence is all about being aware of your emotions and the emotions of others. Self-reflection helps you identify what triggers certain feelings and how to handle them in a constructive way.
It also helps in recognizing patterns in your emotional reactions. For instance, if you notice that you often feel stressed in certain situations, reflection can help you figure out why and how to address it.
Yes, and the more you reflect, the more in tune you become with your emotions. This not only improves your own emotional well-being, but also enhances your ability to empathize with others and build stronger relationships.
Another benefit of self-reflection is building confidence. When you reflect on your achievements and the progress you've made, it boosts your self-esteem and belief in your abilities.
Yes, often we're so focused on what we haven't accomplished that we forget to celebrate our successes. Self-reflection reminds you of how far you've come and what you're capable of.
It also helps you set realistic expectations for yourself. By reflecting on past challenges and how you overcame them, you gain confidence in handling future obstacles.
Exactly. Confidence comes from knowing that you can learn and grow from every experience, and self-reflection is a way to reinforce that belief in yourself.
Self-reflection plays a crucial role in making better decisions. By looking back on past choices, you can learn what worked, what didn't, and use that insight to make more informed decisions in the future.
Yes, reflecting on past decisions gives you valuable feedback. It allows you to understand the reasoning behind your choices and whether they aligned with your goals and values.
It also helps in avoiding repeating mistakes. When you reflect on why certain decisions didn't turn out as planned, you're more likely to make better choices next time.
Exactly. Good decision-making comes from learning from both successes and failures, and self-reflection is the tool that helps you analyze those experiences and grow from them.
Self-reflection is essential for building resilience. When you take time to reflect on how you've dealt with difficult situations, you realize your own strength and capacity to bounce back. Yes, resilience is about adapting to challenges, and reflection helps you see the ways in which you've done that in the past. It reminds you that you've faced tough times before and come out stronger. It's also an opportunity to recognize the coping mechanisms that work for you. By reflecting on how you've managed stress or adversity, you can continue to use those strategies in the future.
Exactly. Reflection turns hardship into a learning experience. It helps you see challenges not just as setbacks, but as opportunities for growth, which is the foundation of resilience.
Self-reflection is closely linked to mental health. It gives you the space to process your thoughts and feelings, which is crucial for maintaining emotional balance and well-being.
Yes, without reflection, it's easy to let negative emotions build up. Taking time to reflect allows you to confront those feelings, understand them, and find ways to address them.
It's also a form of self-care. By regularly reflecting, you can check in with yourself and make sure you're taking care of your mental health, whether that means managing stress or seeking support when needed.
It's also a form of self-care. By regularly reflecting, you can check in with yourself and make sure you're taking care of your mental health, whether that means managing stress or seeking support when needed.
Self-reflection is not just important for personal development, but also for career growth. By reflecting on your professional experiences, you can identify areas for improvement and growth.
Yes, career growth requires continuous learning, and reflection helps you evaluate your skills, strengths, and areas that need development. It's a way to stay proactive in your professional journey.
It also helps in setting clearer career goals. When you reflect on what you've achieved and what you enjoy, you can better align your career path with your interests and aspirations.
Exactly. Reflection keeps you focused on long-term growth, ensuring that you're not just working hard, but working smart toward your career goals.
Self-reflection also impacts personal relationships. When we take time to reflect on how we interact with others, we can improve communication and deepen our connections. For example, after a disagreement with a friend or family member, reflecting on what was said, how it was said, and the emotional undertone can help us approach future conversations with more empathy and understanding.
That's a great point. Reflection gives you a chance to step back and assess your role in conflicts or misunderstandings. It helps you see things from the other person's perspective and think about how you can respond differently in the future, leading to stronger relationships.
It also builds self-awareness. You start to notice patterns in your interactions. Maybe there are certain triggers or habits that lead to miscommunication or tension. By being aware of those patterns, you can work on changing them and improving how you relate to others.
Absolutely. The more you reflect, the more you can identify areas where you need to grow in your relationships, whether it's being more patient, listening more, or expressing yourself more clearly. It's all about fostering healthier, more fulfilling connections with the people in your life.
And it's not just about resolving conflict. Reflection also helps us appreciate the positive aspects of our relationships. When we take time to think about the good moments, it deepens our gratitude and strengthens the bond with our loved ones.
Yes, it's easy to focus on what's wrong, but reflection encourages us to also celebrate what's right. This balance leads to more meaningful and satisfying relationships, both personally and professionally.
Self-reflection isn't just about emotions and relationships, it can also fuel creativity. When we reflect on our creative processes, whether it's writing, painting, or problem solving, we can identify what inspires us and what holds us back.
Definitely, creativity thrives on self-awareness. Reflecting on when and how you do your best work allows you to create the conditions that support creativity. It could be a specific environment, time of day, or even a certain mindset.
It's also about learning from creative failures. When something doesn't go as planned, reflection helps you understand why and how to improve next time. It's a vital part of the creative process because it turns setbacks into learning opportunities.
Exactly. Reflection is like a feedback loop for creativity. Every project, whether successful or not, teaches you something new about your creative abilities and preferences. The more you reflect, the more you refine your skills and find your unique creative voice.
And it's not just about art or design. Creativity can be applied to any field, whether you're finding innovative solutions at work or coming up with new ways to handle daily tasks. Reflection opens the door to thinking outside the box.
That's true. The more we reflect on our ideas, the more we stretch our creativity. Reflection helps us break free from routines and come up with fresh perspectives, leading to more innovative and fulfilling outcomes.
Self-reflection plays a huge role in goal setting. By reflecting on past experiences and achievements, you can set more realistic and meaningful goals for the future. When you look back on what you've accomplished, you gain a clearer sense of what you're capable of and where you want to go.
Yes, reflection helps you understand your strengths and weaknesses, which is essential for setting achievable goals. If you don't reflect, you might set goals that are too ambitious or not aligned with your values, leading to frustration or burnout.
It also helps you stay focused. When you regularly reflect on your progress, you can adjust your goals if needed and make sure you're staying on the right path. It's like a personal check-in to make sure you're moving in the direction you want.
Exactly. And self-reflection isn't just about setting goals, it's about understanding the motivation behind them. Why are these goals important to you? What do you hope to achieve by reaching them? Reflection gives you clarity on what drives you, which makes it easier to stay motivated and committed.
And when things don't go as planned, reflection allows you to reframe setbacks. Instead of seeing them as failures, you can view them as part of the learning process and adjust your goals accordingly.
Yes, it's all about growth. Reflection helps you turn every experience, whether good or bad, into something valuable that can guide your future decisions and goals.
Self-reflection can greatly improve time management. When we reflect on how we spend our time, we can identify habits or activities that are unproductive and adjust our routines to be more efficient.
That's true. Time management is about being intentional with how you use your time, and reflection helps you see where it's going. By analyzing your daily or weekly schedule, you can figure out where you're losing time and how to make better use of it.
It also helps in setting priorities. When you reflect on what's most important to you, whether it's personal goals, work tasks, or self-care, you can allocate your time accordingly and avoid wasting energy on things that don't align with your values.
Yes, reflection helps you distinguish between what's urgent and what's important. It allows you to make better decisions about how to use your time so you can focus on what really matters and avoid feeling overwhelmed by distractions.
And it's not just about productivity. Reflecting on how you manage your time also helps with work-life balance. It's about making sure you're not just getting things done, but also taking time for yourself and the people you care about.
Exactly. Reflection helps you create a balanced schedule that supports both your personal and professional well-being. It's about managing your time in a way that allows you to live a fulfilling and intentional life.
Self-reflection is also key to building confidence. When we take time to reflect on our achievements, even small ones, it boosts our self-esteem. We get a clearer sense of our abilities and strengths, which can be really empowering.
Absolutely. It's easy to focus on our mistakes or what didn't go well, but reflecting on the positives gives you a sense of accomplishment. When you acknowledge your progress, you start believing in your potential more.
It also helps in overcoming self-doubt. When we reflect on past experiences, we often realize that challenges we thought were impossible were actually overcome. This gives us the confidence to face future obstacles with more determination.
That's so true. And self-reflection isn't just about celebrating success, it's about learning from failure too. When you reflect on what went wrong and how you handled it, you build resilience. You start seeing failure as a learning opportunity rather than a setback.
Yes, reflecting on how far you've come despite challenges builds inner strength. It reminds you that you've faced difficulties before and can handle them again. It's a powerful way to boost confidence and motivation.
And the more you reflect, the more you realize your own growth. You become aware of how much you've improved over time, whether it's in your career, personal life, or skills. This awareness helps you tackle new challenges with a stronger sense of self-confidence.
Self-reflection is also essential for mental health. Taking time to reflect on your thoughts and emotions can help you understand your mental state better and recognize when you need a break or support.
Yes, self-reflection helps you process your emotions. It allows you to step back and understand why you're feeling a certain way, whether it's stress, anxiety, or happiness. This kind of awareness is crucial for maintaining mental well-being.
It also helps you identify unhealthy patterns. When you reflect on your day or week, you might notice habits that are contributing to stress or burnout. Being aware of these patterns allows you to make changes that support your mental health.
And it's not just about recognizing negative patterns, it's about finding what makes you feel good too. Reflecting on the activities or moments that bring you joy can help you incorporate more of those into your life, which boosts your overall mental health.
Exactly. Self-reflection gives you the tools to manage your mental health proactively. By regularly checking in with yourself, you can address issues before they become overwhelming and ensure that you're taking care of your emotional needs.
And sometimes, reflection can show you when you need help from others, whether it's talking to a friend or seeking professional support. It's a way of staying in tune with yourself and knowing when to reach out if needed.
For many people, self-reflection is also a path to spiritual growth. Reflecting on life's bigger questions like your purpose, values, and beliefs helps you connect with your spiritual side, whatever that may mean for you.
Yes, reflection helps you explore your inner self on a deeper level. It allows you to think about what gives your life meaning and how you can live in a way that aligns with your spiritual or personal values.
It's about finding inner peace and clarity. When we reflect on our actions and beliefs, we get a better understanding of what truly matters to us. This can bring a sense of calm and purpose, especially during challenging times.
Exactly. Self-reflection can be a form of meditation or mindfulness. It allows you to focus on the present moment, which is a key part of many spiritual practices. It's about being in tune with yourself and the world around you.
And it's not just about personal growth, it can also deepen your connection with others. Reflecting on your relationships and how you live your values can inspire more compassionate and mindful interactions with the people around you.
Yes, spiritual growth through reflection can help you become more empathetic and understanding. It's about growing not only as an individual, but also in your relationships with others and the world as a whole.
Self-reflection is crucial for leadership, too. Great leaders take time to reflect on their decisions, actions, and interactions with others. This self-awareness helps them lead with more empathy and effectiveness.
That's right. Reflecting on past leadership experiences, both good and bad, helps leaders grow. They can learn from their mistakes, improve their decision-making skills, and better understand how to motivate and support their team.
It's also about being open to feedback. Reflection allows leaders to think about how they can improve and how their leadership style impacts others. This kind of self-awareness makes them more adaptable and responsive to their team's needs.
Exactly. And self-reflection helps leaders stay grounded. It reminds them of their values and goals so they can lead with integrity, even in difficult situations. It's about staying true to who you are while also being open to growth.
And it doesn't just benefit the leader, it benefits the entire team. When leaders are reflective, they create a more positive and supportive work environment where everyone feels heard and valued. Yes, reflective leadership fosters trust and collaboration. It shows that the leader is thoughtful and considerate, which encourages the team to be more engaged and productive. As we come to the end of this episode, it's clear that self-reflection is a continuous journey. Whether it's improving our personal relationships, building confidence, or growing as leaders, self-reflection helps us become the best version of ourselves.
Absolutely. The beauty of self-reflection is that it's always evolving. There's always something new to learn about ourselves, and as we grow, our reflections deepen and change. It's a lifelong process of self-discovery and improvement.
And no matter where you are in life, reflection can guide you toward growth, balance, and fulfillment. It helps you align your actions with your values and live a more intentional, meaningful life.
Yes, whether you're reflecting on your career, relationships, or personal growth, taking time to pause and think is essential. It's a habit that can positively impact every area of your life.
So as we wrap up, we encourage you to make self-reflection a regular part of your life. It's a simple yet powerful tool for personal development, and it can lead to greater clarity, happiness, and success.
Thanks for joining us today. We hope you found this conversation helpful and that it inspires you to reflect more in your daily life.
Self-reflection also plays a vital role in career growth. Taking time to think about your professional experiences helps you identify what you're good at and where you need to improve. This is essential for anyone looking to advance in their career.
Yes, it's about evaluating your work habits and performance. Reflecting on how you handle tasks, challenges, and interactions at work gives you insight into your strengths and areas that need development. This awareness can help you set meaningful goals for your career.
And it's not just about skills, it's also about your passion and motivation. Self-reflection can help you understand what aspects of your job you enjoy the most and where you might want to shift your focus in the future. It can even guide you toward new career paths.
Exactly. When you take time to reflect, you might discover that your current job isn't aligning with your long-term goals. This realization can help you make better career decisions, whether it's pursuing further education, taking on new challenges, or even changing jobs.
It's also about learning from past experiences. Reflecting on both successes and failures at work teaches you valuable lessons that can propel your career forward. You can apply what you've learned to future projects and leadership opportunities.
And the more you reflect, the more confident you become in your career decisions. Self-reflection helps you make choices that align with your goals and values, leading to greater job satisfaction and professional growth.
Self-reflection is equally important in personal relationships. By reflecting on how we interact with others, we can improve communication, build stronger connections, and create healthier relationships.
Yes, self-reflection allows you to understand your role in relationships. Whether it's with family, friends, or a partner, reflecting on your behavior, emotions, and reactions helps you become more aware of how you contribute to the dynamic.
It also helps in resolving conflicts. When we reflect on arguments or disagreements, we can see things from the other person's perspective and understand our own feelings better. This leads to more effective communication and resolution of issues.
Exactly. Self-reflection helps us recognize patterns in our relationships, both positive and negative. When we understand these patterns, we can work on strengthening the good ones and addressing the problematic ones.
And it's not just about improving the relationship with others, it's about improving the relationship with yourself. Reflecting on how you feel in relationships can help you set boundaries, express your needs, and ensure that you're in healthy, supportive connections.
Yes, self-reflection fosters emotional intelligence, which is crucial for maintaining strong, meaningful relationships. It helps you understand your own emotions and how they influence your interactions with others.
So that wraps up our discussion on the importance of self-reflection. Taking the time to reflect on our lives, goals, relationships, and decisions is essential for personal growth and success.
Absolutely. Self-reflection helps us understand ourselves better and make more informed choices in every area of life. It's a powerful tool for improving communication, building stronger connections, and achieving our goals.
We hope this episode has given you some valuable insights into how you can incorporate self-reflection into your own life.
Thanks for joining us today. Keep reflecting, keep growing, and don't forget to tune into our next episode.
Until then, take care and keep practicing your English skills with our podcast. See you next time.